watch him go down the main stretch here and head for the start-finish line. There goes Unser, meanwhile, to the inside, and Al Unser gets by, but that is not for a change of position. Here is Bobby Rahal, and the white flag is out. One more lap to go. Look at Bobby. He raises his hand and knows that in 2.48 miles, he will have won his first Indianapolis-type car race at Cleveland, Ohio. He is in the short stretch, headed for the hairpin. Now here is the hairpin. Off of it, onto the backstretch. He'll negotiate turn number 4 that we refer to as the King. Bobby Rahal is on his final lap of competition at Cleveland, Ohio in the Budweiser 500. Now off of the backstretch into turn number 5. Now into turn number 6. Quite a bit of traffic ahead of him. We'll see what happens to it later as Al Unser is the car immediately ahead of Bobby Rahal. The middle stretch, now turn number 7. Off of it, heading north toward Lake Erie and into turn number 8. Now a short stretch on to turn number 9 in the area that we've called the back 40 all afternoon. There is the 9th turn. He swings off a bit. The car drifts toward the outside into turn number 10. Now on the main straightaway, Bobby Rahal bringing the red roof number 19 to victory this afternoon. He is on the front stretch, making a move on Rick Mears. Here is Rahal braking heavily now into turn 11. Now turn number 12. Al Unser right ahead of him, but Bobby Rahal is the winner. Look at him, he raises both hands off the steering wheel in a bold move. Bobby Rahal excited and happy at having won the 500-kilometer race here at Cleveland. A tremendous victory for this young race driver.
Well, Rahal gets the award for the
pretty well and pretty smoothly today. Coming out of turn number 9, the shadows to the finish line to complete lap number 94. We believe the white flags did come out, was displayed for Bobby Rahal.
So this is the last lap for Bobby Rahal. We'll follow him through the S's here. Again, he has about a 30-second advantage on Teo Bobby and about a 57-second lead on John Paul Jr. in 3rd position. And just about a lap lead on Al Unser Jr. Those 4 cars on the lead lap here at Riverside.
Well, the Hilton Hang Tough Award has already been awarded for the race today. It's going to go to Al Unser Jr. I got to say, I don't think there was any other choice they could have made.
This is turn number 7 for Bobby Rahal. Through it, up the hill, headed for turn number 8, the tight hairpin. The last real challenge for Bobby Rahal on this 3.3-mile road course. If he gets through that okay, he needs to go down the long backstretch and then into the sweeping turn number 9 that will carry him to the start-finish line and a checkered flag victory this afternoon. White flag being displayed to the other drivers as they pass across the start-finish line here. Now Rahal gaining some speed coming down the backstretch. Looks like he has the situation well in hand. He went around a slower car there on the backstretch. It looked like Al Unser Jr.
Sure was, Al Unser Jr. There's also an award called the Provimi Pass Standings. It's an award each race for the driver who passes the most cars, and it's a cumulative over the season. Tony Bettenhausen led those standings coming into this race. Klausler started 27th. He's going to finish 6th, it looks like. Hands down, Provimi Pass winner today, Klausler.
The checkered flag is out for Bobby Rahal from Dublin, Ohio. He raises his hand in victory. Bobby Rahal and the Sleep Cheap Red Roof Inn's crew has won this 500-kilometer race here in Riverside, California. Teo Fabi is just now entering turn number 9. He's going to end up in 2nd position as Al Unser Jr. 5 more laps because he has now moved to within 2 seconds of the leader. Rahal is on the last lap of the race in turn number 1.
Well, you're right, Bob. It appears that Al Unser Jr. does have a faster set of wheels right now, but simply the laps are running out, so it looks like Bobby can hang on. We'll be looking for the white flag.
It'll be Bobby Rahal's first win since 1983, last year at Riverside, California. Rahal off of turn number 4, the checkered flag falls, and Bobby Rahal has won the Strohs 150. Finishing right behind him is Al Unser Jr., and it was less than a second between.
There were several of them, but this year, that one, and we've only got, in fact, less than 1 lap to go. Bobby Rahal is on the final lap of the race, and he has a 14-second lead on Mario Andretti. We'll follow him up the hill here. He's approaching the corkscrew area. You can see the flag, the corner workers displaying the yellow flags, indicating that there are problems up ahead. but Bobby Rahal moves through the corkscrew nicely. Now he's in turn number 6A, headed downhill toward turn number 7, makes the left-hander. Now he's looking toward turn number 8, sweeping around it. Now his major problem is to get the car slowed down for the hairpin. He'll take it very easy going around the hairpin. He's through it. He looks good. He's onto the straightaway. He raises the hand. The checkered flag comes out, and Bobby Rahal wins his second consecutive IndyCar race.
Wow, I'll tell you, what a turnaround in this season by Mitch. There's Jim Truman, the team manager, owner, and the guy who masterminded this entire project, which took the IndyCar circuit by scene a year ago.
And it looks like he may have had some contact with the guardrail because the right side of that wing, at least in the back end of the car, may be displaying some damage. Now the white flag does come out, and so Bobby Rahal is on his last lap. Tough break for Mario.
Very, very bad luck. Very bad break for Mario. After having such a good, consistent race, here he goes, he blows a tire. Now this is interesting. We've had tire explosions regularly the last couple of races. It may be debris again, maybe Mario just ran over something, but a very, very bad time for it to happen. Most unfortunate for Mario. It looked as if he had in fact stalled the car, because usually he could drive away and drive it back to the pit as soon as possible. But it didn't look as if Mario was able to keep the engine running. He seemed to be stalled.
Look at Jacques Villeneuve, who is moved right up on the back bumper of the back wing, I should say, of Bobby Rahal. And I know Jacques knows that he is not in contention for the win, but maybe playing here with and rather Rahal for the last few corners anyway. Bobby Rahal is headed for the checkered flag here. And Villeneuve moves to the inside and passes Bobby, but as you said earlier, Bobby is not going to take any chances of a race with him on the last lap.
No, he moved right over, gave him all the room he wanted. Villeneuve doesn't want to finish another lap down to Rahal.
Out of corner number 14, now corner 15, Bobby Rahal crests the slight peak at the start-finish line, takes the checkered flag, and wins the Escort Radar Warning 200 from Mid-Ohio. Bobby Rahal with his first win of 19. Still second pace here with about a second advantage on Rick Mears, who is coming up quickly and will undoubtedly try to challenge Bobby Rahal now as we enter lap number 99. 1 lap to go. The white flag has been displayed, and Mears, although he is closing in on Rahal, I don't think is going to have enough momentum build up to take the lead. Bobby Rahal is on the last lap of this 100-lapper here at Michigan. Now midway down the backstretch. Bobby Rahal just a few car lengths actually ahead of Rick Mears, but something is going to have to go wrong with Rahal's car if he loses this race. They come out of corner number 4. There is Rick Mears right behind him. Here they come through the tri-oval. The checkered flag is waved. Bobby Rahal wins. Rick Mears is second, just a few car lengths behind.
I think it was just a tease. I don't know about you, Bob, but I think Rahal has had this race in his control since about the halfway point. A most intelligent race that has been run. I would suggest Rick Mears pulls up alongside and salutes the winner, Bobby Rahal. He's had some close calls.
You know, I gave it a try. That's all I can say. Well, Jeff, while we're chatting, going behind us was Danny Sullivan finally adhering to the black flag.
And we are on the last lap of the race, Jack. Yes, Danny Sullivan did come in for his stop and go. And now Jan Lammers moves past him, and Lammers is a lap down, so that was not for position. But Bobby Rahal is less than a lap from victory here, with all kinds of interesting developments going on. Here comes Bobby Rahal down through turn number 8, braking for the hairpin. Now coming out of the hairpin, the checkered flag is within his sight, and there it is. The winner of the Strohs 300 IndyCar race is Bobby Rahal. Now, out of the hairpin, rather, the second place finisher is going to be Al Unser Sr. Here he comes.
Rahal is going to come at him, and how and where Mears might come at him. We are now being told that they are going to go green the next time around, and there will be 2 laps to go at that point. So we're going to see a 2-lap race to the flag between Kevin Kogan, Bobby Rahal, and Rick Mears, and what we are seeing, quite frankly, is one of the most dramatic races in the 70-race history of the Indianapolis 500.
Sure, because how often do you see 3 cars in contention? 2, yes, even that, rarely, but 3, never. This is fabulous.
Kevin Kogan in car number 7, the blue and white, in case you've just joined us. The crowd standing and cheering all 3 events left on the racetrack. Hundreds of thousands of people now up and ready to watch on their tiptoes as they go green and race for 2 laps. The Indianapolis 500 is now the Indianapolis 5 between Kevin Kogan and Bobby Rahal and Rick Mears.
Oh, and Kevin didn't get the start he might have hoped for.
And Rahal's going by him. Bobby Rahal in car number 3 has the lead once again. You look at Debbie. She knows what's happened. They come out of turn 2. They're going down into turn 2 now. Down the back stretch. Rahal trying to stretch the lead over Kogan. Mears trying to get into it.
I think it was a disadvantage for Kevin to be leading because it allowed Rahal to sit back just slightly and time the start. In fact, here comes Rick Mears.
Can't get by him. They're in turn 3. Now they're in turn 4. And they'll come out of turn 4 and onto the front straight. There will be 1 lap to go now when Bobby Rahal comes by the start-finish line. 33-year-old Bobby Rahal of Dublin, Ohio, trying to beat 30-year-old Kevin Kogan. And right now, Debbie Rahal believes it's about to happen. They're into turn 1.
Looks good,
Short
doesn't it,
shoot.
Rahal?
He's got it. He's got it if the car holds
Just
up.
ran a lap at 204 miles an hour, so he had something left, and he's showing it right now. And Rick Mears may be going to menace Kevin Kogan for second as Rahal goes on to win. That's a possibility.
The yellow flag, which appears for a moment to have won the race for Kevin Kogan, instead created an opportunity for Bobby Rahal to win it. An opportunity that Rahal has taken advantage of. There in front of him, on the right, now the left, Dwayne Sweeney holds a checkered flag for the 1986 Indianapolis 500 champion, Bobby Rahal.
Well, there's Debbie. Fantastic. Easily one of the greatest 500s we've ever seen.
Kevin Kogan, driving one of the greatest races of his career, has just finished second in the Indianapolis 500, and I guarantee you that is a very empty.
He will receive the white flag, and there will be just one more lap left on this 1.78-mile circuit. Here he comes off of the white. Bobby Rahal receives the one more lap to go signal. We'll watch him. He's now in the corner number 3, bringing it out of the corner number 1 and 2 onto the backstretch now, gaining momentum once again. Danny Sullivan appears to be dropping back just a little bit further. Now at the end of the backstretch, he brakes heavily in downshift going into corner number 3.
Bob, also, this is the first race that the car will have won with something a little extra right on the front windshield. You can't read it there because the camera angle's too far away and the car's going too fast. But there are 3 initials right underneath the front windshield. They are JRT. It'll be the first win with Jim Truman's initials on this race car. That, too, is an emotional moment.
Bobby Rahal in the last stages of this course, negotiating the final turns. That will lead him on to the straightaway and to the checkered flag. Let's watch him. He's in corner number 10. Now corner number 11. He brings it off the corner number 11. He gets the checkered flag, and Bobby Rahal wins the Molson Indy. Danny Sullivan in second position, just a matter of car lengths behind. Unofficially in third position is going to be Mario Andretti. And fourth could be Al Unser.
Is the field coming down for the last lap. Now, hopefully all the competitors' radios are working. The word has moved up and down the pit line that Jose Lee is conscious and out of the car, and they probably all know. Checkered flag coming up right here. There it is. You see it. Bobby Rahal taking the checkered flag, winning this year's Radar Escort Warning 200 here at Mid-Ohio.
Well, it looked as though we were going to have a real exciting duel there towards the end with Guerrero and Rahal, but just didn't turn out to be that way.
He does have that flag in his hand. Bobby entering the front straight now. 1 lap to go. Last lap.
Bobby Rahal from Dublin, Ohio is about to win his 2nd consecutive IndyCar race and his 4th race of the series. He is in turn number 2, clear sailing ahead of him. An easy win for Bobby Rahal this afternoon at San Air Super Speedway in Montreal. Here he is. Bobby Rahal is champion once again in an IndyCar race.
Well, that's a good win for Bobby. It's 4 wins. I don't know. It looked like it was an easy win in terms that he did.
Rahal hurtling out of turn 4. Here he comes in the start-finish stripe.
And the white flag is displayed. Bobby Rahal has one more lap to go. One more trip around this 2-mile trioval. Mario Andretti limps into the pit area.
And if Bobby Rahal can stay and win this, he'll become a millionaire for this season. Going into this race, $973,000 plus, and the winner's share here today will put him well over the $1 million mark.
And that's just in one season. It'll also be Bobby Rahal's 5th win of 1986. Here he is out of turn number 4 onto the trioval. Bobby Rahal from Dublin, Ohio wins the Pepsi-Cola 250 at Michigan International Speedway. Michael finishes in second position. The battle for third is a wheel-to-wheel with one. Emerson Fittipaldi got third over Kevin Kogan by about a front. Completion of lap number 97. The white flag will come out this time around. Bobby Rahal out of corner number 9 onto the straightaway. The white flag is displayed by Nick Panoro, the official starter for championship auto racing teams. There is one more circuit to go. Will it be Rahal? Will it be Sullivan? Let's find out as the cars move up through corner number 2, begin the long climb uphill.
If everything stays as it is and both cars and engines run properly, it's almost impossible for Sullivan to catch Rahal now. Rahal could make a mistake. We can't see any traffic in his way for the remaining half of this final lap. So Rahal is in a very secure position, but Sullivan is there shadowing him, following his every move.
Out of turn number 7. Now entering turn number 8. Bobby Rahal about to add his 6th win to his portfolio in kart PPG Indycar World Series competition in 1986. Here he is off of corner number 9. The checkered flag falls, and Bobby Rahal has won the Champion Spark Plug 300 from Laguna Seca Raceway. Danny Sullivan finishes in second position, 1.4 seconds behind. Unofficially,
He fell into that group of people that didn't look like they could go all the way in 2 stops.
Well, he is back out on the racetrack as here comes Bobby Rahal out of corner number 9 and about to receive the white flag indicating his final trip around this little less than 2-mile racetrack here at Portland. Bobby Rahal is on his final lap. There is second place Michael Andretti, now just about 8 1/3 seconds behind.
Not enough, certainly, for one lap. If Bobby goes this race or goes this lap without any type of incident, there's no way that Michael's going to catch him. And we're very convinced that, just as Steve Horn indicated, that Bobby Rahal is just kind of cool. He's just loping around here, the 1.9-mile road course here at Portland International. And Bobby Rahal is going after his first win. By the way, we also visited the Portland Raceway this weekend. There was also a super modified race there. We had a Formula Atlantic race, which was won by Dean Hall here at Portland. We'd like to thank Jan Vinkus, who finished 6th in that race, along with Mike Levin and Scott Moyer, who has helped us in the booth here today. We had a pretty good afternoon.
Out of corner number 9, here is Bobby Rahal from Dublin, Ohio, onto the straightaway now. And it looks as if, yes, he is going to win the Budweiser GI Joes 200, his first win of 1987.
No theatrics. And I'll tell you one thing, it happens so often when this team wins, they seem to make it look very easy. Seldom do you see him coming down out of turn number 4, side by side.
Well, excited because we're so close, making for a good race.
All right, well, good luck to you.
Thanks very much.
Bobby Rahal screams past the pits. The white flag flies. One more lap to go. Just about 1.5 miles now for Bobby Rahal. Will he make it 2 in a row? Will he improve his point standing? The best ever, even as we speak. But it will get much better here in just a few moments, if only he can hold on for this one final lap.
Well, I take my hat off to him. I think he's been smooth. I think he's been careful. I think his crew have done a great job. I think he has driven with precision. The type of race around a tricky and difficult track such as this that takes a very talented driver. And I think his road racing experience and reputation will rise because of today's performance. None of the key players, apart from Guerrero, has really dropped out.
Bobby Bobby Rahal now with no challenge. Mario Andretti came across the line 4.5 seconds back. Emerson Fittipaldi was 33 seconds back in third place. Jeff Brabham was fourth as he acknowledged the white flag. Bobby Rahal runs all alone on the circuit, and we look now for the checkered flag as Bobby Rahal heads for the pit line, and Bobby Rahal sees the twin checkered flags. Bobby Rahal has won the fourth run at the Meadowlands. Bobby Rahal's the winner. Mario Andretti. And this time around, Bobby Rahal should be receiving the white flag. 96 are complete, and now lap 97 should go into the books. There is the white flag, and Bobby Rahal is on his last circuit of this 1.9-mile road course. The Dublin, Ohio driver has come here and done what he had to do. He has won the 1987 PPG Championship. That occurred very early in the race when Michael Andretti experienced spark box problems that caused him to come into the pits. And also, he has come in here and won his fourth consecutive on this racetrack.
Well, hasn't actually won it yet. He's got to get down to the flag, but I mean...
It looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good at the moment. From where we sit, it looks good. I don't know what happened to Al Jr. He made that one passing attempt at Rick Mears at the hairpin, which didn't come off, and he's dropped back a little bit since. I think maybe he's got a gearbox problem. I don't know.
And now here is Bobby Rahal in corner number 9, the final one. He can coast home to victory from here. Off the corner, and here's the checkered flag. Bobby Rahal wins the Champion Spark Plug 300 from Laguna Seca. A win in the race and a victory in the overall championship.
To pass on Rahal. Rahal seems to have just stretched his lead just a little bit on the last 2 laps, and I think Rahal, barring a mistake, race home and dry.
White flag comes out. One more lap to go. Emerson Fittipaldi raising his hand. He has a problem, Derek.
I'm not sure whether he has a problem.
Let's go to Pancho Carter. Maybe he can tell us. Pancho.
And Rick Mears just said he'd run out of fuel earlier. Emo is slowly going, shaking his car. It looks as though possibly he has run out of fuel too. He's just pulling off onto the inside here, and we'll see what Kevin Cogan can see from his vantage point.
This is the most frustrating day for Emerson. You can see he is absolutely livid with the car, with whatever has caused him to run out of fuel. He put on the big effort.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, when Emerson came by here, he was short shifting, trying to save fuel. Obviously, it was starting to run out earlier that lap. He had quite a bit of a distance between him and Rahal at that point.
So Rick Mears out of fuel, and Emerson Fittipaldi, who was second, also runs out of fuel on the white flag lap as he was about to come down to take it. Meanwhile, here's the checkered flag, and Bobby Rahal has won the Marlboro Challenge and $225,000. Danny Sullivan, by virtue of the fact that Fittipaldi ran out of fuel, is going to finish second and win $135,000.
This year is not that good a start with the Judd engine, but he's beginning to come from behind, and a win here with everything that's developing will put him in the driver's lead, the lead for the driver's championship with a lap to go.
And of course, that would be something unique, and he would be the first 3-time or 3-in-a-row winner of the championship, national championship in kart.
From a driver's standpoint, this has to be the longest lap of the day.
It really is. You sit back and take stock. You know you've got to be concentrating as hard as you ever have on this one to make sure nothing happens. Be alert for anything around you, anything that might develop. Here's a pass for third. Roberto Guerrero is taking third place.
From Derek Daly.
Tremendous racing here today, and Bobby Rahal is coming around that last turn, heading for the checkered flag, and he could kick it out of gear and coast from here.
And there it is, the checkered flag. Bobby Rahal has been racing Indycars for 7 years. The victory today celebrated in the pits. At least one win in each of the 7 seasons. His total 18 career victories, his 6 on the oval, and his first oval win in nearly 2 years.
clean-shaven crew members for this over, because both of these guys say, if we win, we'll clean up our act.
Yeah, they definitely need to clean up their act. I hope he wins.
So Bobby Rahal comes down the pit straight now, sees the white flag indicating 1 lap to go in competition for Bobby Rahal. Fuel is still the question mark. Little Al has closed to within 8 seconds now of Bobby Rahal. Rick Mears is third. John Andretti is fourth. Eddie Cheever is fifth. Danny Sullivan with Alpha Power is in 6th place. Emerson Fittipaldi, still falling backward, is in 7th. So Bobby Rahal now works his way on the final lap of 150, approaching the 180th mile. The Preco STP machine. This race has run long. Here comes Bobby Rahal as he flashes down the pit line. Seems to slow just a bit. Nick Finoro has the twin checkered flags, and Bobby Rahal has scored his 20th career win and his first win of this season. Bobby Rahal is the winner at the Meadowlands. But because this race is run just...
Drivers have won. Only Rick Mears has won twice. Bobby Rahal has won this race before. He may be the only other person soon to have won this race twice in the last 11 years. Quite an achievement.
Got a glimpse here of Chip Ganassi as we come onto the white flag lap. Chip watching Eddie Cheever, his driver, but Chip is a full 22 seconds behind as the white flag comes out for Bobby Rahal. And Bobby Rahal is about to go into the records book with a flag-to-flag win in the Valvoline 200, his 21st career win, and the first win for his brand-new team. Chip Ganassi's car with Eddie Cheever at the wheel will finish in 2nd place, the first time he's been in the top 5 on an oval. Carl Hogan, well, he's done it. Rahal takes...
Up over the curb right there. Clean up on top of the curb, Sam.
There it is. Back in, got around, he got it stopped.
Look at the right collapsed front suspension.
Tie rod all bent down there, so that car's not going anywhere now, and certainly is a causal factor of the accident. Let's go to Gary Gerald.
Oh, the only radio conversation, he said, it just spun around on me. It just spun around. Great frustration again for Michael Andretti.
So Bobby Rahal now working on the final lap of this race and running all alone, a good 10 seconds ahead of Rahul Boycell, who runs in 2nd place. Johansson runs 3rd. And there's Carl Hogan hoping his car makes it around.
Yes, well, he certainly is. And another thing on Michael's deal is a real good chance that that right front folded from the previous accidents, and that's what caused Michael to spin.
And look at the leader of the race, Bobby Rahal, with nothing in front of him and very little behind.
This will be his 2nd victory of the year, and it will extend his points lead dramatically because none of the people that were pursuing him in the points have done well today.
2nd time in a row we've seen Sandy Andretti with that shy smile while her husband is out of the race. You can't tell if it's sadness that he's out or happiness that he's out and safe. Bobby Rahal now working on the final lap, just a few hundred feet to go as the crowd begins to applaud along the sidelines. And Bobby Rahal accelerates now, looking ahead toward the checkered flag, and there it is. Bobby Rahal has taken the win here in Detroit, and he leads the PPG points now by 19 over Al Unser Jr. A 22nd career win for Rahal. It ties him for 11th on the all-time victory list with Michael Andretti. Bobby Rahal
we should go green next
here.
time around. Already the PPG pace car begins to accelerate. As from the pits, they get a view down, making sure where all those cars are positioned. Debbie Rahal, Sandy Andretti. Rahal now begins to pick the pace up. You see now as Michael Andretti reaches down, grabs a gear, and they accelerate into the green flag.
It's a bit too far behind him to make that outside charge, but I wouldn't put it past Michael. Here we go again. He's on the high line. He's on the high line, but he's not close enough this time.
Michael likes it up there. He tries it again, but Rahal comes wide too as he comes off the corner. Moving down into the 3rd turn. Now into turn number 4. Michael Andretti still chasing Rahal. Rahal well out in front by a full mile though, and trying to power his way on to victory as the white flag comes out. One more lap to go for Bobby Rahal. Michael Andretti not really going to take a chance on it now. He knows it's way too far. No sense getting alongside Rahal and having any problem with it. And
Rahal particularly good through 3 and 4. That's where he draws away from Michael. He is safe.
So Bobby Rahal takes a look at the twin checkered flags and is the winner, the very first winner ever here in New England, as they dump a load of cool water on Carl Hogan. But boy, are they happy. The rest of the field comes across, and no real contest going to the line for anyone else, as Bobby Rahal and Michael Andretti are side by side now. But Michael Andretti
not very long. Doesn't hold Michael very long either, as he squeezes to the outside of Hiromashusta.
Not enough traffic to help Michael. There's 10 car lengths between himself and Rahal. That is too much, as you see the white flag.
1 lap to go for Bobby Rahal. Will he be able to move himself back into the points lead? He's looking so strong here now. The checkered flag awaits him. Michael Andretti in a last desperate drive on the backstretch to catch Bobby Rahal. But Michael Andretti appears to be totally behind the 8-ball, as it's Bobby Rahal that takes the win here at Nazareth. Moves back to the lead of the points with Michael Andretti going into 2nd place. Paul Tracy screams for the line now. Finishing in 3rd place, Scott Goodyear will finish in 4th.
Well, Bobby Rahal, the businessman, the racing driver, and the car owner had everything covered that he needed today.
So the battle for the championship is sealed now between